Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to 2022. This is the Purple Penny video for the first one for 2022. Welcome back to everyone who watched these last year. I opted out of doing one after Christmas this year because we were at home having a few days off, which I think we both needed. We are back in the shop today, ready for opening tomorrow. Catherine's over there sorting out all the mailing that has built up over the last week or so, and I'm getting on top of all the emails and new mint releases and taking photos of new products and things like that. Almost feels like we never left. Anyway, there's been things going on in the coin world. The coin world never seems to stop. Of course, the mint has continued to release at pace. January sees the release of the Mint Mark Suite and another set of releases on Thursday, and then of course there's more releases coming up in February. So let's just jump into the news for today. So the Dinosaurs Down Under Suite was released at 10:30 Eastern Time on New Year's Day. It's an interesting theme. I think the coin is quite a nice looking coin, and the packaging is very well done. They're still using the light bamboo packaging for the silver proof version and the gold proof version, but kudos to the mint. They have improved the packaging on the Mint Mark Suite, which is the $4 coins in the plastic case. They've moved away from the sleeve and put it into a box so that it is much easier to get out. Thank goodness. It's a vast improvement over what they had before. I do like the theme. I do like the packaging, and it's probably going to be a popular series this year. The next three Steam Power 50-cent coins are due out on Thursday. Now, I don't know about other dealers, but we got allocated the same number that we did the first time round, and that means we're not going to have any stock available to go up on the website because they've all been, I guess, put aside for people that bought off of us for the first time. Perhaps if people don't want them, then they'll be available for sale online, but at the moment it's not looking like we're going to have any available. The Mint also is releasing the Tooth Fairy kit this Thursday. We're not at line listing day yet, but I can provide, and I'll just do a big wink here, there's something wrong with my eye. The Tooth Fairy coin, $2 coin, will be available in another format, and you'll be able to find out about that on Thursday, what that other format is. Just think back to last year and the year before about what dealers had available for the Tooth Fairy coin. The February releases are looking pretty interesting. There's a couple of interesting things available. They will all be disclosed on Thursday, so just watch out on Facebook. We'll list off all the items that are going to be available in February. I'm sure that there's going to be things in there that people want. So before we go any further, we'll just say a few hellos to people. Hello Neil, Denise, Rob, Paul, Mike, Tanya, Ogie, Gwen, Aaron, Graham and Andrew. Thanks for watching today. I should just say it is Tuesday. Usually we do these on Monday, but yesterday was a public holiday here and we had a barbecue at home and I didn't want to come into work and do it, so I've saved it for Tuesday. Next Monday we'll be back to normal scheduling, Mondays for the rest of the year hopefully, unless there's a public holiday or some other interruption. I'm hoping we will improve the quality of these videos a bit this year with lighting and video and things like that. I've been speaking to my brother who's in the TV cameraman business, and he's been providing me with some valuable advice, and perhaps we'll get rid of this shiny forehead that bedazzles so many people. Now back onto the news. Of course, Baby Unk and proof sets are being released in February. They were delayed, of course, so they will be available in February. There's the prices there. They have all the coins have a varied design over the standard design. quite attractive looking things, and there's the prices there. Now, coins in the news over the last couple of weeks, the two highlights that I came up with were, the first one here was signed Hubble astronaut coin sets. Now, Hubble is an orbiting space telescope, and it has been, I believe, deactivated, but the space shuttle used to go up there and maintain it, because it wasn't like an unmanned space station or anything. Anyway, some government department has released, a US government department has released coin sets graded by PCGS and signed by crew members of the last space shuttle mission to Hubble. Pretty fantastic things, actually. I think it's a 5 coin set. It's about $200 US. Pretty neat thing, and I must admit I was pretty tempted to buy one myself, because I quite like astronauts and sign things. The other thing that popped up in my feed in the last couple of weeks was the discovery of a couple of shipwrecks off the coast of Israel, and they were one was from about 300 BC and another one was from about 1100 AD. Many coins found on both. The one from 300 AD was full of Roman silver and bronze coins from about 250 AD or so, and the other one was from I think it's the Mamluk period, which is a period where Israel, the area around Israel, Palestine, was controlled by a caliphate, and they have sort of flat hammered silver coins, and there was a hoard of those found on those ships. So sort of fabulous historical things. The Roman ship was actually found with a gold coin that was engraved with, I believe, a portrait of St. Peter. So it's one of the very first sort of Christian related artifacts that that dates back quite a long way. Must be amazing to live in areas that coins like that can be found. I've always like to talk about those things, because that those countries have a numismatic history that goes back a lot further than Australia's does. Now, hello Gary and Glennis, and no real need for hair and makeup. Well, Aaron, it could be argued that I need hair because I don't have a whole lot of it, and I'm not sure what makeup is going to end up making me look better. So yeah, no, there won't be any hair or makeup, but certainly some changes to the lighting to get rid of the I think it's called albedo, the reflectivity of my forehead. So we'll be trying a few things this year to improve on that. Now, I thought this year I would start off by looking at my 5 favourite purchases that came into the shop last year, and I guess none of these are necessarily to do with, I guess, the profitability of the purchases, even though that's a consideration. It's more about things that excited me, and as still a coin collector, there are things that come in here that excite me, and even if they're not very profitable, they still excite me, because we do this because we love it. And I thought I'd look back at some things that came in this year and apologies if you've seen this before, but I get my kicks out of this stuff, and I do like to share it with people. So there's my highlights for 2021. Now the first one there is a gold nugget. So we had a gentleman come in, and he believed what he had was just some sort of melted gold from the refinery process, but when it came in here we realized it was a nugget, and we'll just pop up a picture of that. It's weighed 125 grams, and you can see here that even though I don't sort of have particularly big hands, it is quite a big thing. We've had a few nuggets in here before, but usually less than a gram, and this one was 125 grams, which is over 4 ounces of gold. It was a lovely thing. We've since found out that it had been treated in nitric acid or hydrochloric acid or something, so that a lot of the rock and minerals that were in there naturally had been removed. But other than that, it was a lovely thing, and we'll probably never ever see another one. The first person we showed it to bought it, and that'll probably be a buy that I remember when we closed this shop up. It's I'll never see its like again, I suspect, in here. So thanks to that gentleman who brought that in here and showed it to us. So the next item is some poppy rolls, and I guess I should preface this with a bit of a story first. Back in 2013, we met the local RSL people here in Adelaide, and they still had many dozens of 2012 red poppy rolls that they couldn't sell. And it's hard to believe these days that that could be the case. And they were virtually begging us to buy them, offer them, because they just couldn't get rid of them. And we ended up, I think, at one point with over 300 red poppy rolls. And, we sold every single one of them. We didn't keep one of them. And back then they were selling for about $250 or $300 each. And of course these days they're selling for $4,500 or $5,000. And I always kick myself that we never kept one or two. We didn't keep any. And in the intervening years, we've never seen really another red poppy roll. We've never had the opportunity to buy one. We bought a few coins out of a roll that was broken up in front of us once, but we've never had an opportunity to buy one. And this year we've had the opportunity to buy 5. And in fact, we had one gentleman bring in 4 on basically on Christmas Eve, which are just here. I'll just hold those up here. So we've got 4 beautiful 2012 Chubb red poppy rolls, which I will be honest with you. When I popped open the box that had these in there, my hand started shaking, because I never expected to see 4 in one place ever again. And they're quite remarkable things. And these are very tightly held. It's hard to get your hands on them. There's usually a couple for sale up on eBay at any one time, but the price is quite high. And I guess if you are a $2 collector, they're the key thing to have as a $2 collector. I guess watch out for those to pop up on our website over the next few weeks, because they're too expensive for us to hang on to. The next item is a coin I must admit that I never thought we would have in here, and it's the legendary 2016 Alien 5-cent piece, which of course is a die clashed coin. And if you look above the penny there, at the top left and the top right of the penny, you can see the antennae poking out there, which gives this coin its name. It's called an alien because they're supposedly alien antennae. Now, up until a few months ago, I'd really only ever seen these move online, and never seen one. And we had the opportunity in the last few months of the year to buy 2 of these, and even though they are just a die clash, and die clashes usually aren't something that has a lot of interest to people, they generate a lot of interest out there. And I can already see here that someone said, "Tag me if selling, please." They just sell themselves. Now, why are they so hard to find? Even though there's someone watching here right now that's found 2 of them, I don't know. But you would imagine that perhaps the die clash, and those of you who aren't aware, a die clash is where the obverse and reverse dies come together and strike each other without a coin in between. Perhaps the die clash happened and caused some damage to the dies, and the press was immediately switched off. But with coin presses striking several hundred coins a minute, even if the delay was 20 or 30 seconds, there's still going to be a couple of dozen of these things being struck, and perhaps that's why they are so hard to find. Pretty remarkable die clash, probably the most popular die clash that I know of. I'd certainly be interested to hear if anyone else knows of any other die clashes that are as popular as this one, and quite valuable little things. Valuable enough that when I when we paid for them, we paid, you know, a fair price for them, and I was a bit embarrassed to sell them for what we did. But yeah, if you're looking at 5-cent pieces and you get a decimal change over 5-cent piece, do make sure that you check to see if it is this lovely little alien die clash. Very unusual things. We've only ever had 2 in our entire time of trading, and you know, I think I'd wet myself if I found one in my change. I think they're pretty remarkable little things. Next item, and this is, I've shown this a number of times, is the ACDC 20-cent die. This gave me goosebumps when it came in, and the gentleman, those of you who aren't aware, this is the ACDC 20-cent die here, which was used to strike the colorized 2019 ACDC coins, and of course there was 7 of those coins. This one is the ball breaker coin, and that's the die that was actually used to make the ball breaker coin. And these dies were made available by the mint as part of a competition. I think there were 8 of them. I'm not entirely sure about that, and they were won. And we had a gentleman who lives not far from here bring it in one day just to show us, and I had goosebumps because I never thought I'd actually see one, and I'll probably never see another one. He didn't really want to sell it. I asked him if I could make an offer on it, and he said, yeah, sure. So I made him an offer, and he went, yeah, okay, but I don't really want to sell it. And later that day he brought it in and sold it to me. So, you know, we were delighted by that. It's lovely to be able to own something like that. Those of you who are lucky enough to win one, you know, it's an amazing collectible. The mint just doesn't release dies like that. Now, Alex Birkin has asked if it's cancelled in any way. And Alex, I think what they've done is that they have skimmed off a large part of the relief of the die, so that really what it is just sort of the shallowest impression of the design elements that are there, so that you really couldn't strike a coin with it. It's not like the US Mint sells cancelled dies, and usually what they do is they sort of they machine across into it, or they cancel it with a chisel or something like that. I think what the mint has done here is skimmed the surface off, and you can still see all the design, but it's so shallow that you wouldn't be able to strike a coin with it. Wonderful thing. Probably the thing I was most pleased to buy this year is that ACDC die. And you'll just have to bear with me with the last one here, because the last one here is something that I guess it just sort of appeals to the... It appeals to me because of the historical, the history that it entails. So, you know, those of you who have heard me talk before would know that I think that coins are essentially mundane things. They're things that we put in our pocket and we spend them and we don't look at them, and they're just things of commerce, and they wear out, and you know, the mint destroys them, and we run over them with lawnmowers and put them on railway tracks, and they're very mundane things. But every now and again you do get, you know, what were essentially mundane things, and they just tell a story that has been forgotten. So this is 2 gold medals that came in here one day. One of them on the left there is a union badge for the Midland Railways, which was a defunct railway in Western Australia. The one on the right there is a gold disc that's made out to A. Cook, and it's made out as a prize medal for the YMCA Premiers football competition for the 10th Regiment of the 3rd Australian Light Horse. And the railway medals made out to the same person. There's no service numbers on them, but I spent a wonderful afternoon digging around on the internet and identified the person that these were awarded to. He's a West Australian gentleman who worked for Midland Railways before World War One, enlisted in World War Two, in World War One, came back and went back to work for the Midland Railways. He had no children. He was married, but unfortunately was severely injured in a car crash in 1943 and died unfortunately in the repatriation hospital in Western Australia. And his story is unfortunately lost to us, and I think the opportunity to buy these things and then research the history of this gentleman, and we'll publish this probably in a CAB article and then up on one of our websites. It gives us an opportunity for this gentleman's story to be told again and to be put up there on the internet and made available forever. And if these little things that essentially mundane things didn't outlast us, which they do, and I was just waving a sort of a cruddy little sixpence here, which is probably 90 years old. It will outlast me, it will outlast everyone watching this video, and it will still have a story to tell after we are long gone. And I think that these medals are the same thing. They give us an opportunity to look back in time and tell someone's story, and that's part of coin collecting and medal collecting that I really, really enjoy. And for me, these were probably the most intellectually interesting things that we bought this year, and they will not leave my hands. So not until I'm ready to get rid of everything, because I have enjoyed dipping into this man's life too much for that. So that's what I bought this year. Now, there's just a couple of questions here. Greg says, what number was the die, please? The number of the die is C6136DU001L, if that means anything to you, Greg. I'll send you a message later with that information on it. So Trent is saying, yeah, it does allow us to share history, these things. I agree with that, Trent. Sylvia, yeah, if you want to ask the Midland group, yeah, that would be fabulous. And no worries, Aaron. Like I said, I do enjoy that part of coin collecting and medal collecting. Right, that's it for today. I thank you all for joining us in this first video of 2022. I can't believe it's 2022 already. Hopefully the first of 50 episodes this year, or 51, depending on how motivated I am at the end of the year. As always, if you have any questions, please send them through via Facebook message, or text us, or give us a phone call, or email us, and I'm always happy to talk about things in these videos if people have questions. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone's had a great festive period, and if you're going back to work, sorry about that, but we have to as well. We will be back next week. Have a great day, and catch you next time.